Well, good morning, everyone. We need light, don't we? It helps us to do most things, yes? Have you ever tried to put your makeup on in the dark? Or hammer a nail in the dark? Ouch. Or what about playing golf in the dark? Except for a glow-in-the-dark golf ball, it would be pretty difficult, wouldn't it? Well, today, to show us a little bit of how much we really need light, I need 3 volunteers. We're not going to do one of those 3 things, but we are going to have a bit of fun. So 3 volunteers to come and help me, please. Who's up? Come on. 2 more. Okay, come on down, Kaya. All right, Rita and Marcia, excellent. Okay, so our 3 volunteers are going to do an activity in the dark and blindfolded. So you each get to choose a bucket, okay? In the bucket we have 9 soft teddy bears, thanks to my girls' collection. And so you're going to be blindfolded and the lights are going to go down, but only for about 30 seconds, okay? This is just to show how much we need light. And what you need to do is try and get as many bears into the bucket on the other side of the stage in 30 seconds, okay? So before you go, all right, everyone on this side, all right? I want you to cheer for Kaya, okay? Everyone in the middle, you're going to cheer for Marcia, okay? And everyone over this side, you're going to cheer for Rita, all right? Okay. All righty, I'm going to get out of the way. And if you're watching online and you have the opportunity to, why don't you grab some buckets and some soft toys and have a go? Make sure you're blindfolded and try to do it in the dark. Okay, we're going to set the lights down and we're going to set our timer, please. And we've got 30 seconds. Lights are going to go down, going down. Okay, and we will go. Oi, back up. Oi, 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 oi. Is our 30 seconds up? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we ran out of bears. Excellent. Let's say thank you to our volunteers. Let's have a look and come and see who got what. Marcy is the only one with bears in her bucket. And that may be because she cheated. All right, thank you guys. If you want to help pick up the bears, that would be awesome. I have some other helpers coming to bring up some other things as well. Well, we need light, don't we? That kind of showed us that we do need light, doesn't it? And we're talking today about shining your light, if you haven't got that picture. And we need light not just for silly games, but for life. And we are 3 weeks into our Simple Sayings of Jesus series. And today, if you haven't picked up this, hopefully you have, our theme is Shine Your Light. Each one of the simple sayings that we've been looking at has built on each other because they're based on a collection of teachings of Jesus that we call the Sermon on the Mount today. They probably didn't all happen at the same time, but over time they've been collected and put together in the one place. These teachings are all about how we can live God's way. Just remembered I need to turn the clicker on and use it. So 2 weeks ago, Donna spoke on good soil and shared a parable of Jesus where he described the conditions of our heart according to soil, different types of soil. And we were encouraged to ask Jesus to help us to be good soil so that our lives can be fruitful. Last week, Tim spoke about solid foundations and encouraged us to develop and continue to develop our foundations so that when the storms of life come, our lives won't fall or blow away. Does anyone remember the sound that Tim made last week? It was a lot louder over the microphone. Yeah, I can't do it. A good foundation helps us to have resilience and to stand firm. So today we come to the simple saying of Jesus, shine your light. We sang just a few minutes ago, light of the world. You step down into darkness. We sung about Jesus being the light of the world. What does that mean? What does it mean that Jesus is the light of the world? Is it just a saying? No. Jesus is the light of the world, not just the sun. He is bigger and better than the sun, our physical sun. He shows us who God is and shows us the way to live a full and wonderful life. In John 8:12, Jesus says, "I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness because you will have the light that leads to life." When Jesus says, "I am the light of the world," I think he's saying, I think he's saying, if you want to know where to go and how to live, let me show you. I can light the way. Jesus is the light of the world. And yet, according to the Bible reading we read, that Craig just read for us, Jesus wants us to shine our light. Jesus is the light of the world. Jesus wants us to shine our light. What? I think we need to know the light, Jesus, to shine our light. You see, Jesus, the Son of God, chose to leave heaven and come and live here on earth like we do. He lived a perfect life. And many people were attracted to him because of the way he lived. The things that he did, the things that he said were something that they attracted them to him. When we invite Jesus to be a part of our lives, he is the one who walks with us and helps us to live life. When we invite him to walk with us, then he invites us to shine the light that he's shining in us. We need to know the light, Jesus, to shine our light. So let's take a look at what it means to shine our light. We just read Matthew 5:14 to 16. If you've got your Bibles or devices open, you're very welcome to turn to those passages and let that passage and have a look at it together. The first thing we see is that light is to be shared. And actually, we're going to go to the middle verse, verse 15. Light is to be shared. There's no point of a light in an empty room, is there? According to my electricity Nazi husband, there is definitely no need for a light in an empty room. It's pointless. He gets cranky when he finds lights on in empty rooms. Light that is not shared is pretty pointless. In verse 15, it talks about putting your lamp under a basket. That's pretty pointless, isn't it? What's the point of a lamp under a basket? In Jesus' day, they didn't have electricity. Lamps used flames. Flames and fire can't survive if there's not enough airflow. So if you put a cup over a candle, what happens? It goes out. Sometimes it takes time, but it goes out. Pardon? Yes, it has. We are the light of the world. We're not designed to hide our faith. We're created to live and share our light with others. Our world needs hope. It needs us to live our lives of light openly, not hiding them. It needs us to live our lives of light with confidence and lots of grace. Grace for ourselves and grace for others, so that we can share the amazing good news of what Jesus has done and is doing for us and in us. Drew and Annalise today have promised to share the light of Jesus with Archie as he grows. Who are you sharing the light of Jesus with? The good news here is that this isn't a heavy burden. This isn't hard work, because this work of shining our light is Jesus' work in us. As we allow him to transform us from the inside out with good soil and solid foundations, he is the one who shines his light through us. We just simply allow him to do it. The light of Jesus is to be shared, and we shine the light when we share the light. So we need to know Jesus to shine our light. So how do we share our light? What does Jesus say about how we do that? In verse 16, it says, "In the same way, let your good deeds shine out for all to see so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father." We share our light by letting our good deeds shine out for all to see, by being a blessing to others. I love the way the Message puts it. Keep open house. Be generous with your lives. By opening up to others, you'll prompt people to open up with God, this generous Father in heaven. We share the light by being a blessing to others, by being generous with what God has given us. Now, I think we can do that with those that we love, though sometimes not that great. Sometimes those that we love don't get the best of us, do they? But we also can be a blessing to those that we just incidentally interact with every day. I'm an Aldi shopper. Anyone else here an Aldi shopper? Yep, okay. So when you go to Aldi, you have to lay out all of your groceries on the conveyor belt before they start processing your order. And when I turn up at Aldi, I've done a fortnight shop usually for the 6 of us, and so my trolley is full to overflowing, and I think anybody who turns up at the checkout after me goes, "Oh my goodness." If I see someone come into that line after me who has just a couple of things, I'll send them through in front of me. I will speed them through the checkout. And they'll go, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Absolutely sure. Go on through in front of me." I shine my light, the light that Jesus has given me, by being a blessing to people and speeding them through the checkout. There's lots of other ways that we can be a blessing to people, aren't there? Making a meal for them, just smiling at someone, making eye contact, even having a kind word for the person who is collecting for charity, not necessarily the Salvos, but those other charities that we all kind of, ignore or try not to make eye contact with. How can you be a blessing? If you're clever enough and you're in the room, why don't you put it in the online chat? If you're watching online, why don't you put it in the chat? How can you be a blessing in what you do? The point of these good works, these blessings, is to point people to the light of the world so that they praise God and turn to Him. When we bless others, we shine the light of Jesus. But we need to know the light to shine the light. Now, I'm wondering, have you ever spent any time in the darkness? I don't know if the darkness we had a few minutes ago counts. Maybe out in the bush camping, maybe at Boondooma. Have you ever been in a cave with the lights out? Or in a blackout when the lights go out and you're just fumbling around the house looking for candles? Our eyes, when it's dark, are just naturally looking for light, aren't they? They're designed even so that our pupils get bigger, so that if there is even any semblance of light around, we will be able to see it. And that light, it gives us hope, because it helps us to know that things aren't quite as scary as they look, and it gives us a direction to move towards. In verse 14, Jesus describes a city on a hill and how its lights can be seen from a long way off. You can't hide the lights of a city, particularly the lights of a city on a hill. Wherever you're coming from, you can see those lights. And if you're on a journey to somewhere, those lights can be a sign of hope as well. We are to shine our light. Just like a city on a hill, we are to live our lives in such a way that we bring hope to those around us. Our character witnesses to those around us that our lives are different because of how Jesus is at work in us. We live His way. And so our responses to life are full of grace. When we live lives of faith and grace, we give hope to those around us that their lives can be different too. Who's someone that you see who is like a light on a hill? Can we be a light for someone today? Lauren is certainly one of those people who I see as a light on a hill. Steve, too, as he works in the schools, is a beautiful light on the hill for kids whose lives are sometimes really not safe places to be. Who can we be a light on the hill for today? Light brings hope. Light brings hope in darkness. Most of us have darkness in our lives and we need hope. I don't know what darkness looks like for you. Maybe it is some sort of jealousy or depression, or maybe it is bitterness or brokenness of some description. Maybe it's an addiction. Maybe it's something that you just keep hidden from everyone else because you are too ashamed for that to come into the light. Jesus wants to shine his light in you today. He wants to bring hope and transformation to you from the inside out. Light brings hope in the darkness, and only Jesus' light can bring that hope in the dark, hidden, secret places of our lives. John says, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot extinguish it. Darkness cannot extinguish the light of Jesus. That's great reason for hope, isn't it? Today, Jesus wants to shine in your life, and he wants to remove the darkness. He wants to allow you and help you to feel clean and bright. And as you do that, you will shine. You will shine his light. So light is to be shared. Light brings blessing. Light brings hope in the darkness. And we need to know the light, Jesus, to shine our light. Where are you in all of this? Do you know Jesus, the light of the world? Do you need to allow him to transform you and bring you into his kingdom? I promise you it's the best decision you'll ever make. I'm going to invite the band to come up. Perhaps today you need hope. Perhaps you feel like sometimes there's an absence of light in your life, or you kind of feel like you're in a dark tunnel and there is no light at the end. I just want to encourage you that Jesus can be the light at the end of the tunnel. He is the light with you in that tunnel, and he will walk with you. All you need to do is just ask him. Maybe today you're not convinced that Jesus is the light of the world or that his light can change you. I want to encourage you to give him a go, because you never know what might happen when you do. What have you got to lose? Try getting to know Jesus. We start by doing that by reading the Bible, just like Lauren read. We don't have to read the whole Bible to get to know Jesus. I would start with just one book. Start reading about Jesus. Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. I like Mark because it's nice and short. You can read it in just over 2 weeks if you read one chapter a day. And as you do that, pray and ask God to show you, to speak to you, and you might be surprised at what happens. We need to know the light Jesus to shine him, and you can know him today. All you need to do is call on him, and he will come and be with you, and he will never leave you. Perhaps you know the light of God. Have you allowed what Jesus has done for you to transform your whole life, your character, your thoughts, the parts you hide even from yourself? Perhaps today you just need to spend some time inviting him into the dark parts of your life and allowing him to bring his light to those spaces. He's more than willing to do that, but he's not rude. He's not pushy. He will never go where we are not allowing him to go. So why don't you allow him to bring his light to you today? Where is God calling you to shine his light today? Who has he brought to mind that you can bless? We're going to take some moments to respond. And as we do, we're going to think about the fact that Jesus, the light of the world, wants to share his light with you and shine through you. Will you take up the call to shine his light today? There's a few ways that you can respond. You can come and kneel and pray, and someone will pray with you. You can come and meet with one of the prayer team who will be waiting to meet and pray with you. You can text for prayer. The prayer line number is on the screen. We need to know the light Jesus to shine our light. So let's allow him to shine through us today.